Thank you very much, Luca. Well, first of all, hello to everybody who joined our meeting today. Hello, Giovanni, Marco, Marzio. I believe we have 4 people here. Thank you for joining the webinar. Okay, let's start. Today I would like to show you how to synchronize, share the information you have in your Outlooks to mobile devices based on iOS, or iPhones, iPads, and so on. Now, just a few words before we start the actual presentation. Just a few words on what we have here on board. So, as you can see, I'm working here on a virtual environment. It's the most convenient way, I believe. And we have 2 computers with Windows 7 installed. The first one is running Outlook 2010 on board. The second machine has Outlook 2007, and I believe these are the most commonly used email clients we have. Now about the CodeTwo software. Today we'll concentrate on synchronizing data, so we'll be working with 2 applications. We'll be working with CodeTwo Public Folders. This is a platform actually for sharing Outlook data and basically local Windows files between computers. And the second application we will use will be CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. Now let me just show you a few words about how it looks like and how it works. Now the CodeTwo Public Folders, as I said, this is a platform for sharing Outlook information, and this consists of a client-server relationship. So we have a syncing master, some kind of a server of the software here, which basically stores all the information, all the shared data, and we have client applications. Client applications are visible in Outlook. As you can see here at the top, we have a toolbar of CodeTwo Public Folders, and you can also access the client applications through tray menu. This part here is specifically for sharing Windows files, so not only Outlook, but also any Windows files can be shared. Now this is installed in a setup where one computer holds the syncing master, which is the server, and the client. The second machine has only the client, and if you can see, it's Outlook 2007, so the menu is a bit different than Outlook 2010, but of course it also has the client app for sharing Windows files. Okay, so this is CodeTwo Public Folders. Now one more application we have, and this is what we'll be working mostly with today, is CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. Let me just show you. It's basically installed. You can see it here in the Start menu, and you can access it through your Outlook. Through a small administration panel is installed as an Outlook add-in. We have it here, administration panel of CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. This software actually allows to synchronize data you have in Outlook to your iCloud-based devices. Okay, so let's start. To synchronize Outlook data to iOS devices, we will also need one more component, which is installed in this computer. This will be iCloud panel for Windows. If you can access the control panel of the system, you will see it here, right? And we will be checking our iCloud information on an iCloud account, which I have prepared on the website. So this is basically our test account we'll be checking all the information on. Okay, so let's start. Let me just try to start with the CodeTwo Public Folders software. We need to prepare some elements before we start to synchronize them to our iPhones and iPads. Now, as you can see here, to the left, we've got our basic Outlook data file with our default folders, inbox, contacts, calendars, and so on. After installing CodeTwo Public Folders, we have another folder list. This one is specifically for shared items. For now, it has only 3 elements, but in a moment this will fill in all the information we need. And also, if you can see below here, we've got the iCloud folder list. It's installed after installing iCloud panel for Windows. So this is basically what you have in your iOS devices, in your iPhones and iPads This is basically the same as we have on the iCloud account here. Okay, so let's continue now. Go to public folders. Let's try to do something with the software before we can synchronize it, the data to your iCloud devices. Okay, let's start to share some folders. Go to public folders specifically is designed for sharing Outlook elements. As you can see here at the top, we've got the programs menu, and okay, so let's get to work. Most of you have some data in the Outlooks, and the main aim of the program is to share them between computers. So let's start doing this. Let's take a look how we can make this contacts folder here to the left to be accessed on computer, on second computer, so it can be visible and also inaccessible in this Outlook. Okay, to do it, we need to go to the menu code to public folders, and we would like to share this contact folder. So we go to My Shared Folders, and using a Share button, you can select from your default account the folder we want to have accessible on the computer. So let's start with Contacts. Okay, here in the Access Rights menu, we can define which users have access to the folders. Let's add a second user just in case. So as you can see now, both users of the software of CodeTwo Public Folders can do basically anything with the information synchronized. Okay, so now if you can see here, the folder name Contacts has been shared from this computer. Now let's go to the second machine. Okay, basically nothing changed. You still have the personal folders, you still have the CodeTwo Public Folders, and that's it. Now to have the contact folder we previously talked about be accessible on this computer, we need to subscribe it. So we need to have it visible in this Outlook. To do it, we have to open the public folders menu, other user shared folders. So far this is empty, right? So we need to open the folder. Now clicking the button Open Folder gives us a list of which folders, Outlook folders, are accessible. In this case we have the contacts. Okay, let's select it. Here we can change the name, but let's just leave it by default. Okay, so now in the list we have a folder name CodeTwo Contacts. Let's just close it. And let's see, now we've got some information appearing in this Outlook. This folder is visible here, CodeTwo Contacts. If we switch the view to Contacts, we can access this folder also here to the left of your Outlook. Now let's just compare if we get the same items in these two folders. So we got some C2 tests, user 1, user 2. Let's go to the second machine, and in the default contact folder, well, basically we have the same items. So so far it has worked. Let's just make a short test and see if any changes can be updated to computers. Let's just edit something. Okay, this is a note on a C2 test 3 contact. Let's just save it, confirming. Okay, it's here. So now let's go to the second machine. Okay, I believe there was this contact. Okay, so we've got this right. As you can see, the note I just made on the first computer just came to this machine as well. So basically we've got the synchronizer. So to sum it up, we can share all Outlook data, Outlook folders we have, personal Outlook data we have between computers. One more thing before we switch to iCloud synchronization. Basically now we're just preparing the data to be synchronized. The second thing we do, we can create in a CodeTwo Public Folders, we can create new Outlook folders so they are accessible to all the users, right? So let's try to do it. Let's just say I would like to have we work in contacts, so let's just start with contacts. I would like to have a company contact or address book which is accessible directly to everybody. And in order to do it, I need to create a contact folder. So I right-click in the C2 Public Folders. I select New Folder to be created. Let's just name it Shared Contact. Okay, this needs to be a Contact Items folder, and this is in a C2 Public Folders. Okay, so as you can see, shared contacts folder appeared. So far it's empty. Let's just check if it's accessible on the other computer as well. Well, yes it is. Shared contact folders. Let's try to do something with this. Let's make a new contact. New contact number 1, I think this is okay. Okay, so it's here, shared contacts. Let's just check just in case it's appearing on the second computer as well. Well, as you can see, it's visible here. So I think we have it, can just have some other contacts copied as well. Let's just do it real quick. Okay, so if we simply drag those contacts to the shared contact folder here, we can see that these new contacts appear in the shared public folder. Now let's just check what we have on the second machine. We've got the same folders. So basically what we have done here is we have shared some data between two machines using CodeTwo Public Folders. Now the aim of it was to prepare some information to be shared using CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. Now we'll try to synchronize those the information, the data, to iCloud, to iOS-based device. Okay, so now let's go to the CodeTwo Sync for iCloud software. As I was saying before, you can access it through Outlook in the top menu through this icon, right? Settings, and what we have here is a standard administration panel of the software. Now this allows us to select Outlook folder and iCloud folder and select synchronization type, so we can synchronize Outlook information to your iCloud account. Okay, so let's do it. Clicking on Add button, we can select an Outlook folder. As you can see, we've got C2 public folders, we've got CodeTwo.testme.com. This is an iCloud account. We will not be working with this in a moment. I will tell you why. And we've got Outlook data files. So let's start with the Outlook data file, the personal information we have. Let's try to do something with this. Okay, we've been working on a contacts folder. Let's just stay with this. I'm selecting contacts. Okay, so with this folder from personal data file will be included in synchronization. Now, where do I want to have it synchronized, or what do I want to have it synchronized with? Let's just have it in iCloud contacts. Okay, let's just see what happens when we do it. Okay, so we've got these two folders, two contact folders between Outlook and iCloud. Now, synchronization type. We've got one-way synchronization, either from Outlook to iCloud and the other way around, from iCloud to Outlook. And the second type, two-way synchronization type. So this will synchronize all the information between Outlook and iCloud. So I would suggest selecting this type. Okay, so just sum up. Outlook contacts folder will be synchronized with iCloud contacts. Okay, before we do it, let's see what's in our iCloud contacts. Okay, we've got some test folders, some Mary test, some Optimus Prime, and so on and so on. So basically there is some information already existing in iCloud contacts. Now we'll try to have these displayed in our personal folders. Okay, so let's try. Basically the setup now, the synchronization task has been set up. It's visible here. It should be working. Let's just check how this works. Okay. Let's just leave C2 public folders for a moment, and iCloud contacts folder here. Let's just access it. Of course, as you notice, it may take time. This is an iCloud service, and as such, we are related on iCloud connection. Okay, so you can see we've got some information, right? We've got some data here. We've got some items. If we go to contacts, default contacts in our computer, we also have some elements. Now let's just try again. Okay, as you can see, these elements have been moved to trash folder. Now let's see why this happened. Let me just remove this and try again. Okay, so let's just restart those contacts. I think we don't have to worry about this. Just 1 second. Now it's moving the items. We'll have them back in a moment. Well, as I was saying, this is iCloud service. This may take time. In the meantime, let's see an iCloud account what's happening in a contacts folder here. Okay, so I can see that these are again populating right with all the users we had. Okay, so far so good. Just a few seconds to be finished. Okay. So we've got those items here again. Okay. Let's just try again with this. Again, we're selecting Outlook folder, which will be our good old contacts folder. Let's have it synchronized with iCloud contacts folder. Two-way synchronization. Okay, well, I just wait. Oh, yes. Now I'm in my contacts. And what I've got here is those iCloud contacts I was showing you before. Alright, so these have been synchronized from iCloud contacts folder to your default contacts folder in Outlook. And now let's go to iCloud contacts. And this does have those C2 tests folders, sorry, contacts that were accessible in default contacts folder. So basically, what we have done is we have synchronized data between Outlook and iCloud. Now let's just see if these appear in iCloud account, because if they do, we're 100% sure that they will appear on your mobile devices, in iPods, iPhones, and so on. Now let's just see what happens. So I guess we have them here as well. We've got those C2 tests that we had before. Let's just browse to them. Alright, so we have some information, we have some items. Now let's try to update and edit some information. Let's just take other test for a moment. Let's just edit. So it's a phone number here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll get some notes, test notes. Okay, and let's see how it works. We had another test contact. Let's just go to our Outlook and let's see if that went through from iCloud to contacts. Let's just find Anna. Okay, Anna test. See, we have this test notes update and we've got the phone number, so I would say everything just went up smoothly between iCloud and Outlook. Okay, one more feature I would like to show you. Now we just saw how to synchronize default contacts. Let's just try to do the same with the shared elements. So the idea is that you get all other users' information on your iCloud, on your iOS device. So let's try to do it. Let's go back to our iCloud panel and I'll just remove this synchronization. Okay, now if you remember this contact folder, right, from this computer, it was shared to the other machine, right? So let's go to the other machine. There still should be contacts folder from here existing there. Now let's just see what happens. Let's just access it. This folder here I'm showing is synchronized or shared from the previous computer. And if you go there, you can access actually the iCloud's data on the iCloud's contacts. not only on the computer where we were before, but thanks to CodeTwo Public Folders, we can access this information, all the contacts, on a second computer, right? So connecting iCloud and connecting CodeTwo Public Folders into one platform, we can have all the shared elements synchronizing between Outlooks and between iPhones, iPads, and all iOS devices you can think of. Okay, so let's add one more feature. Let's add a shared folder. If you remember, we created a shared folder, shared contacts, right? So all the users can access same contact in Outlook. Let's call it a company address book. Let's try to get these items to be visible in our iCloud devices. Okay, to do it, we need to go where iCloud is installed. If you can see, this folder shared contacts is accessible here as well. And let's try to share it or synchronize it to iCloud. So again, settings, we create a new synchronization task, and we select Outlook folder, not from Outlook that file, but from C2 public folders, shared contacts, right? Okay, now if we go to iCloud, let's just select iCloud contacts again. Let's make it two-way. Let's see what happens. Okay, so the task is set up. Let's just confirm it. Shared contacts. Oh, if you can see, the shared contacts are starting to fill in with the items from your iPhone or iCloud account, basically. So this is good. This is what we wanted to have. We wanted to synchronize shared elements to iCloud. Let's just check, just in case, if iCloud contact has updated. If you remember, this new contact one was before in the shared contacts folder, right? In the main, in the public folder. Now it's in your iCloud. Let's just see if this is the same for iCloud account, contacts. We'll see what happens. Just search for new. Oh, sorry. Yeah, we got new contact one. Okay, so why not edit it and see what happens. Contact one, let's just get some notes to it. CodeTwo notes. Okay, let's just save it. Okay, now we have to go back. In iCloud contacts in your Outlook. I'm just trying to open it now. This has been updated, CodeTwo notes. Now, as you can see, this contact folder is synchronized with the shared contact folder. So this basically should be the same in shared contact folder in Outlook. Yes, and this is CodeTwo notes. So the update we made on iCloud account was synchronized to your Outlook. And let's just see if we can access the same item from second computer. Right? Okay, so CodeTwo notes, the update is here. So basically this way I see it, works just fine. Okay, so I think this is for this first short webinar, this would be more or less all I wanted to show you. So I'll just sum up what we have done today. We have shared, first of all, we have shared items between two computers, two Outlooks, using CodeTwo Public Folders, right? So we shared a personal contact folder to second machine, right? So items from computer, let's call it computer A, can be accessed on computer B. Second thing we've done was to create a new public folder, new shared contact folder, accessible for all the users. So the data can be accessed also on two computers, and so here, right? And the final part was to synchronize the iCloud device or iCloud account with Outlook. So what we did, we created synchronization tasks in CodeTwo Sync for iCloud that covered both the personal folders, right, personal contact folders, and then we created another one that covers a shared folder of CodeTwo Public Folders with iCloud. As a result, we managed to share public information from Outlook and iCloud contacts that users have in mobile devices together. So now we can have access to both type of information in your Outlook and in your mobile devices. So I guess this is what we were supposed to do today, synchronize Outlook data to iCloud device. Sorry I couldn't show you directly on mobiles, but due to technical reasons. But if we have this information visible in iCloud account, well, this is 100% sure that we have them also accessible on our mobile devices. So look, I think this is all from me. If you have any questions, if you have any remarks, ideas, I'm open to your questions. Luca, can you please take over? Thank you very much for listening. Okay, the first question, is this tool compatible with all Outlook from 2000 and Windows from XP versions, both 32 and 64 bits? That's a good question. Actually, if it comes to CodeTwo Public Folders, it is, but let's just focus on the CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. This one is compatible with Outlook starting from version 2007, and if it comes to Windows system, this supports Windows Vista and up, so Windows XP is unfortunately excluded. Okay, and any other questions? Please feel free to ask any questions. I'd like to help you with this, of course. Okay, next question I've got, is there a unique version available of this plugin compatible with the CodeTwo Public Folders 4 and 5? Okay, I was working here with the CodeTwo Sync for iCloud and CodeTwo Public Folders, so we can of course combine those platforms. Now the thing is that CodeTwo Public Folders version 4 is not compatible with CodeTwo Sync for iCloud. Only CodeTwo Public Folders version 5, so the latest, is compatible with CodeTwo Sync for iCloud, and this is a version of CodeTwo Public Folders I was using here. If you can see, is version 5.06.2, so version 5 general. Okay, thank you for your question. Anybody else? Okay, next question, thank you. Are you developing or have you planned to develop similar plugin for BlackBerry's, Android, and Windows 8 phone devices? Okay, if it comes to other mobile devices, actually we are just starting with mobile devices. The CodeTwo Sync for iCloud is practically our first software, first application that works directly with phones. So far we've got iPhones, iPads. We're working now on Android devices, so we'd like to have this working with Android devices. If it comes to BlackBerries and Windows 8 systems, we don't have any specific plans now, but most probably we will have something in the future. Thank you.